Hi, everyone. Welcome
Hello.
to our social media webinar. Thanks for being patient. I know we're getting a little bit of a late start, but we're ready to go now. So I am Jacqueline. I am the social media manager here at Counterintuitive.
I'm Jonathan Josephson. I'm the Director of Client Strategy.
So today we are going to be talking about social media, why it is important to your business and important for your storytelling, and kind of some little tips and tricks, little hidden things that you guys can learn from us today, and kind of how it ties into your overall content strategy and why it's important. So first, throughout this webinar, we will be talking specifically about LinkedIn, Facebook, Google My Business, and Instagram. And at the end, we will be taking questions. So if you have a question, please go ahead and ask, but it'll probably wait until the Q&A section before we get to it. So to kick things off, we will talk about LinkedIn, which we have dubbed your customized lead generator.
Yes, and we're very excited to talk about LinkedIn. One thing that inspired us to put this webinar together and talk about this entire world of social media, specifically for manufacturers, industrial clients, folks that maybe don't inherently think of themselves having value on social media, is because this sector, your sector, is the fastest growing adopters of social media out there. A lot of that has to do is because it's late adoption, because a lot of people have already gotten there, but there is so much value to have, specifically when you are making, building, shipping, creating, in terms of lead generation, in terms of ongoing news sharing and information about your business, that it's a critical aspect of having a business in 2020. So we're going to talk about each of these platforms specifically as it relates to manufacturing, shipping, and industrial. And so starting off with LinkedIn really is about the platform that most directly will connect you and your business to potential clients. So often we are asked and we are examining what is the way that this aspect of a marketing plan is leading directly to sales. We've heard from a lot of people that, oh, I don't need social media. That's just about sharing funny cat videos. Part of it is about sharing funny cat videos, but all of it is about bringing the relationship between you, your staff, your senior management that's going to be reaching out in a business development capacity, and those potential clients that are going to have benefit from your company and serve and have mutual good relationship moving forward. So what LinkedIn can do is it really is the source where professionals are connected to professionals, that niche industries can talk about who they are and what they do in a far more specific way as it relates to the business side and people who are looking specifically for specific characteristics, specific skills, and specific interests. There's a lot of things that LinkedIn can do, and Jacqueline's going to walk us through parts of the platform, which are really great. But thinking about LinkedIn as a way for you to paint the very specific picture of your organization as it relates specifically to your industry, and how to talk to people in industry terms with industry language where you can take deep dives into specific things that your company does really well. LinkedIn is a great source for that, and we'll show you a couple of reasons why.
Yeah, so for LinkedIn, we've got a few tips and tricks that are our favorite tips and tricks that we want to share with you. So the first one that we love is that LinkedIn sends you leads right to your inbox via their saved search feature. So I am going to show you kind of how to do that. And I didn't want to show off anybody's LinkedIn backend. So this is just kind of a generic one that I have found on the internet. So let me find it. Okay, so here is the saved searches back. This is what it will look in when you log into to LinkedIn and you start up at the top here. Searching for a certain job title that would be the person that you would go after. So Jonathan, what would be something super specific?
Yeah, so we work with a lot of industrial clients who are specifically targeting general contractors or a specific type of engineer that has a specialty, whether it's concrete or other versions of what their specific field is. Some specialties might be masonry or aerospace. Having and the more specific the type of person you're looking for, a lot of times we will ask, what is the job title of the person who hires you? We can marry that job title, something like chief executive officer, with a broader term like masonry or construction, and that's how we can really identify a perfect lead.
So yeah, so you can type in up here whatever it is specifically that you're looking for, whoever your ideal client target audience person is. And then all the way over here down in the bottom right, you can actually save the search and manage it so that you don't have to keep doing this search once a month, once a week, over and over again to keep looking for leads. Whenever people update their LinkedIn profile, or maybe they get promoted, they get a new job, they join LinkedIn, whatever happens, you will actually get an alert and have it sent straight to your inbox so that you can start the connection and hopefully get that lead.
And just like Jacqueline's example here, you can have multiple aspects to your saved search. So you can have multiple versions of the job title. You can combine that with different aspects of your industry, whether it's concrete or it's broader, whether it's, you can also do geography tied to this. So if you're only trying to reach CEOs or business owners of construction companies in the Western United States, all of that can be specified, and yeah, they show up in your inbox as pre-vetted leads.
Yeah, so as Jonathan was saying, over here is where you can get like really specific with locations, current companies, past companies, and connections up here for second, third plus. This is important because connections, first level connections, are people that you're already connected with. So you don't need to, keep searching for people you're already connected with. You want to look for second or third plus, but second's the best because that means that you have someone in common. So if Jonathan and I weren't linked or connected on LinkedIn, but we had someone mutual between us, that would be a second connection. Third is just someone who really isn't in your space at all. So second, you could start a conversation with, hey, I see that you know so-and-so, maybe you'd be interested in this or that, blah, blah, blah. So kind of helps kick off the conversation. So
I do love the first connection, what you said before about somebody switching jobs, somebody switches company and they move into a different place. There's, I know I have several hundred connections on LinkedIn and I'm not in touch with them every single day. But if somebody were to switch jobs, I would want to know that. So maybe that's even the second search that we would want to save.
Like be another alert.
That's great.
So that is that awesome tip that we had for you. We have another one. So LinkedIn Publisher gives you warm leads. So the publisher on LinkedIn, which I'm just going to show really quick. Okay, so when you log into LinkedIn, if I can find it here, here's one part of LinkedIn Publisher. Here's the other part. So this is what it looks like when you log into LinkedIn, and at the post, like where you would write a post, you click on start a post, or you could click on write an article on LinkedIn, which is right below it, and it will take you to this page. So this is a publisher. This is where you can actually put in your long form content. So this is like if you write a regular SEO monthly blog on your website or whatever, you can actually also repost it to LinkedIn. Put photos, you can put hashtags and tags, links, whatever you want on there. And you can actually see who reads it. So this is cool because usually on other platforms like on Facebook or anywhere else where you could post long form content, people have different privacy settings, so you might not be able to see who all read it and interacted with it, but LinkedIn shows you everything. So you can actually reach out to people who have interacted and seen your article and say, hey, I saw you like my article. Thank you so much. Are you interested in what we do? That type of thing. So.
And this is a place where that really specific content can create beneficial conversations. With Facebook or some of the other more widely adopted and broader platforms, sometimes the conversation is helpful and sometimes it's not. But here, you're specifically engaging with other professionals in your space. And a lot of times, these published articles and the conversation that happens can lead to real value, both for your followers and people who are following your business, and potentially for the project that you're actually talking about and working on. It's a much more informed conversation that happens on LinkedIn, and that just leads to valuable content.
Cool. So again, you guys, if you have any questions, please keep asking. We'll get to them at the end in the Q&A section. So the final tip for LinkedIn that we have for you before we move on to Facebook is that how you engage on LinkedIn influences what you see on your homepage, which actually influences what other people see on their homepage regarding you and things like that. So This actually goes for all social media platforms, but really it's most important for LinkedIn. So if you log on to LinkedIn and you see stuff that you like, if you see stuff that really doesn't have anything to do with your target audience or target market, but it's stuff that you like, that's not good, because what you interact with on LinkedIn influences what you see. So you want to interact with things that your target audience would interact with, places where people can find you, because that will help you in turn bump up on their algorithm for them to see you more often as well.
So would you say that just checking LinkedIn and looking on pages that you follow, looking at articles that are relevant to your business, that's inherently valuable to your own self-promotion?
Yes.
And it's just a little bit of time. You can spend a couple minutes a day. You don't have to write anything, although commenting and providing valuable content is great. But the simple searching, clicking, engaging, thumbs upping proverbially is all helpful.
Yeah, so just remember, when you're on LinkedIn, think of where your target audience is and go there instead of going places that maybe you like and videos that you want to see, because again, what you see influences, or what you do influences what you see and how you interact on LinkedIn. All right, so that is that on LinkedIn. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask and we'll get to it at the end. So next we're going to move into Facebook, which we have called your personal news network.
Yes, Facebook has become sort of the granddaddy of them all. It's has the widest adoption. We were looking at the numbers that it's over 3.5 billion. It's half the world. Facebook is a place where people go to share personal information, things that they like, also express gripes. There's all of the content that can exists on Facebook, long form, medium form, and also short form. Your opportunity with Facebook is to utilize that very wide adoption to tell your story in all of those different ways, to utilize it as your news network where you're sharing articles about your company and giving deeper insight so that people see the behind the scenes of what your company is. The human element, especially now in the there's a growing trend in the manufacturing and industrial space that the human element is just as important as maybe not just as important as your doctor, but moving in that direction. That people want to know who they're working with, what are the values of the company that I'm going to be doing business with, what is their style, what is their voice. And if you're a very buttoned up business and everything is by the book and the specificity is critical to your success, then that will be reflected in how you talk about the news of your company, the things that are exciting in your industry, and also maybe more quirkier aspects of the world of what you do, but you would present it in that buttoned up style. If you're more free flowing, if you're hipper and there's a more youthful vibe to what you do, that will be represented. And it's not only the content that you share, but it's how you share it. It's the frequency at which you post. And Facebook because it's so broad reaching, it's really an opportunity to share everything. It can be the nuts and bolts. It can be the lifestyle aspect of what you're doing. It can be the finished product. It can be the process. All of that is great opportunity to share on your personal news network. Every aspect of the organization, every aspect of the business has a place on Facebook.
All right, well, some tips and tricks that we have for Facebook, there's a million on Facebook, but just 3 of our favorites that we use a lot are, 1, you can keep a watchful eye on your competitors on Facebook in a very sneaky way, and that is using the Pages to Watch feature. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Again, this is just kind of like a, thank you. Trying to find it. It's not popping up at the top. Okay. So this is just kind of like a dummy backend that we found online. So the Pages to Watch feature, you can actually add your competitors here, and you can see their analytics right there. So if you're wondering what people are doing, if you think one of your competitors' social media pages is really awesome, you can keep an eye on them and see what they're doing and see if their engagement went down, if it went up, what they did different. If your engagement and your social media numbers have gone down the past couple weeks and you're wondering maybe if it's an industry-wide thing, if it's been the holidays, if it's not just you, you can go on and check the Pages to Watch and see how everyone else's numbers are doing. So You can see the post frequency as well, how many times people posted, total page likes, kind of just broad analytics, so you could just kind of see like the scope of what's going on with your biggest competitors on Facebook. So that's kind of cool. It gives you a little sneaky peek into their insights, which we kind of like.
Yeah, and you'll see that there are probably some of your competitors that are doing a really good active job of getting their voice, getting their specialties out there and engaging audiences. And there's probably some that are doing a very poor job. Both are an opportunity for you. Looking at your competitors and seeing what they're doing well, if they're getting a lot of engagement, if they have a lot of followers or likes, you can click on their page and look at the kind of content that they're sharing and translate that into the equivalent kind of content that you may want to share. If you're seeing that there are competitors that aren't doing this, you know you have a leg up because you are having more interactions, you're having more impressions, you're taking up more space on the internet, which is a good thing. You want, the more valuable eyeballs that see you, the higher the frequency of those impressions, the more likely somebody is to want to engage with you, learn more about your company, and ultimately hire you or bring you onto a project.
Yeah, and also your competitors won't know if you add them to this, by the way. And this is in your Insights tab at the top. Once you go to your page, just click on Insights, scroll down, and it's on that page right there. So that's one of our Facebook tips and tricks. Another one that we have, a tip that we have, is to not be scared of your insights. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to go over some quick, important insights. I know that when you hop onto the back end of Facebook, or when anyone hops on the back end of Facebook, it can be a little scary. There's tons of numbers, the arrows, graphs, red, green. And you're like, what does this all mean? This is too overwhelming. I don't even want to look at this. I don't care. But actually you can learn a lot just by knowing just these like 4 simple definitions. So we're going to give you those. I found this one.
Nailed it.
So again, this is just some random insight that I found on Google. So first thing that we're going to go over right here is post reach, which they have right in the middle. So post reach is the number of people who have seen your posts at least once. So this has been people that have seen your posts on their newsfeed. That's it. That is as simple as that metric gets. Post engagement, which is down here in the bottom left. So this is the number of times people have interacted with your posts via reactions, shares, clicking on links, making comments, etc. So if this number is below, if this number is below, this should be between 4 and 6% relative to your followers. So as we discussed in the last webinar, how you calculate your engagement rate is you take your total engagements on a post and you multiply it or divide it by your number of followers, multiply it by 100, and you get your percentage. So I'll walk I'll walk you through that later. So it's engagements divided by followers times 100. That's your engagement rate. So you want that between 4 and 6%. And if it's not, then you need to think about your content strategy and kind of revisit things.
And that's for looking at any individual post.
Right, looking at any individual post. Yeah, this kind of gives you an engagement for the month, so you can, or week, however you want to jigger it up here at the top, last 28 days. So you could just see overall for the month if you've gone down or up, so you can know maybe what you've done in the past month. It's like, oh, I'm down 11%. Where did that little dip come from? Where's that little dip from? You can see and actually click on the day, see what you posted, and you can say, okay, that caused a dip that day. Maybe I'll go easy on those posts, that type of thing.
I also really like that Insights will break down the difference between organic, the interaction with your pages and your content on the organic side compared to the paid side. Because often what you'll see is when you're running a paid ad, you also will see a bump in your organic searches, meaning the people that you reach by spending money helps you find more people without spending money. It's that added value that comes with boosting posts, running ads, or doing some other things that you can do on Facebook and Instagram. And these breakdowns will give you some really great, easily digestible data. And if you want to dig deeper, you certainly can. But this is such a great way to very simply see what, if this is the first time you've looked at it, you can get a baseline. And then if you've been making changes, you can see immediately, is it working? Is it having an immediate benefit? On which of these critical metrics is the work that you're doing having an impact?
So the next metric to go over, or the next two, which are important, is page views, which is right here. So this is the number of time that your profile has been viewed, page view. And page likes over here, that is the number of time your page has been liked by people who have viewed it. So what you want to do is you want to take this number of views take the number of likes and where was my note? And divide it by the number of views, multiply it by 100, and it should sit somewhere between 2 and 4%. So if you're not getting that conversion, you might want to take a look back and see what's on your page. Where's your call to action? Do I need to change up some imagery? Do I need to make things more clear? Why aren't people who are coming on my page views and viewing my page, why aren't they turning into likes? So you'll want to make that little calculation and see what's going on. And you also might want to think about revisiting your target audience too, if this number is super, super low compared to this number, because maybe you're just not reaching the right people, and it could help doing like a likes campaign or something to start reaching the right people, all that good stuff.
So here's another thing just to point out, and we talk a lot about the content that you post and your content strategy, which you can see our first webinar on that if you'd like more information. But the content strategy and the content that you post is the most important aspect of all of this. As you'll see here, the page views, this is the number of times your page was seen, but the reach is who and how broadly your content is being seen on other people's feeds. That's the thing that is the most critical. And yes, that will definitely draw people back to your page so that they look at your page and only the content about you. But this is the thing, that making sure that you're reaching the right people, that this engagement is high. And that's what Jacqueline was talking about with this number here, that this is going to be the big way of how you spread your influence, get the name recognition, and ultimately meet those right people and have them engage with you and hire you.
All right, and that is that on just those little insight tips.
On your personal news network.
On your personal news network. Oh, sorry. One final tip on Facebook that we have is we want to talk about Facebook autoresponder. Mm-hmm. So Facebook autoresponder is really important because I don't know if you guys know this, but if you are not on top of messaging people back in a timely manner on Facebook, Facebook will totally call you out and put you on blast and let everyone know exactly how long it takes for you to reply, up to 2 hours, up to 24 hours, up to 48 hours. And this is because Facebook wants you to be able to do everything on Facebook. Facebook wants you to shop on Facebook. Facebook wants you to watch videos on Facebook. Facebook wants you to do everything on Facebook, including doing customer service and talking to your favorite brands and getting answers to your questions on Facebook. So that is why Facebook puts their brands on total blast, so they can make sure that they are more timely in responding to the users, just to make the user experience that much better. So
I just had an experience with this.
Oh.
I had a bad experience with DoorDash. I don't know if anybody has good experiences with
We've
DoorDash.
all been there.
And food was late or whatever it was, and I called the customer service line, and it was closed for the night. And I tried the live chat feature through their website, and that didn't do anything. So I sent a direct message through their Facebook page.
Took it to social media.
Yeah, they got back to me actually within 5 minutes. I first had some replies that I was very confused by, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't understand. And within 10 minutes, the whole thing was resolved. They gave me a refund, and it was great. More and more people are using Facebook and Twitter especially, but a multitude of social media platforms to get that immediate response, that immediate engagement. That's what Jacqueline's talking about, that when someone uses that functionality to engage, they expect a response, and they expect it to be just as effective as if it's a live chat through the website, or honestly, to have the same functionality as calling. And it's the kind of thing that, especially in this space, in your space of manufacturing and industrial, it can be the difference between that immediate response is the thing that helps solidify the relationship and move whatever project or query into a meaningful level. It's knowing that they can get a hold of you, because so many people we talk to in the space, we say, what about your firm is different about other firms who do something different? And obviously that can't be true. Not everybody has the best customer service. Otherwise, what is the best? So being able to utilize social in this way is one of those ways that can be a differentiator, is a way that will have me speaking well about DoorDash, that something was resolved despite there being some issues, as opposed to, oh, those guys, they don't know what they're doing. I couldn't get them on the phone. I couldn't even get them to respond to my social post. And look, nobody wants them to, no one wants anything negative said about how you interact with your customers.
Yeah, so the only downside to this is when you're a small business, or when it's you who's running your social media, you're also running your business, right? So can't be on Facebook too much because you've got like other things to do. So how do we get around this? Is you get a Facebook autoresponder.
There you go.
So you can actually populate responses that are frequently asked questions. You could type in there. You can put just like a hello, which is one of counterintuitives, which is a hi, thank you for your message. We'll get right back to you. So at least there's an acknowledgement there. So how you do this is, it's really not there this time. I don't see it. Hold on, let me find it. Sorry guys, I thought I had opened the window and I guess I didn't. Well, if you go on your, here's the server. Sorry, bear with me for 30 more seconds. Here we go. Oh, I had put it down. Okay. All right, here we go. So go on your Facebook page, click on inbox. Over here, down at the bottom, you'll see automated responses. So when you click on automated responses, this is what you'll see. So as you can see, there are tons of options here. You can put an away message. So when you know you're going to be away from Facebook for the day when you're actually working, you can put an away message that says something like that we've got here, which is, hi, thank you for your message. We'll get back to you right away as soon as we can. You can also put instant reply. You can put contact information. So when people click to message you, you can say, hi, here's our contact information. Here's our phone number. Here's our address. Here are our hours, just in case that's something that you're getting a lot of. Frequently asked questions you can turn on. So when people say, my order isn't right, or what are some of your specialties or something, you can actually populate those answers so Facebook can recognize when that question's being answered and just supply the answer right away.
Yeah, one example that we had was, we had a client who told us that somebody mentioned that someone asked them through Facebook, are you going to be at a specific trade show? And they said, yeah. And then they ended up having this little conversation and then they met up at the trade show, and it ended up being a good relationship. But so even simple engagement can lead to better, deeper interactivity and deeper relationships.
Yeah, so I would encourage you, if you find that your response time on Facebook is a little bit of a problem for you or a thorn in your side, to please go onto your inbox, click on automated responses, spend 5-10 minutes on here and get those set up so that you can get that beautiful green badge on your Facebook page that says instant replies immediately, right away, great customer service.
And if you go to this page and you see over here that there's a little number that has some outstanding messages, maybe somebody reached out to you in the past because this wasn't something that was a priority, or that whoever was managing your pages isn't even aware of, make sure that those people get a response. And then once you set up your autoresponder, you won't have to worry about that ever again. You can also get alerts that say somebody has sent you a message, and so that you can respond from a mobile device or however you want to do that.
Yeah. Alrighty. So those are our favorite Facebook tips and everything for you about Facebook. Next, we're going to move on to Google My Business.
Yes, this is what we call the beacon for your business. And Jacqueline's going to show you a couple examples in just a minute, and how Google My Business actually looks. But the reason why it's the beacon is because of how Google My Business interacts with Google organic searches. Most people, when they're looking for something online, they go to Google, they type in a couple of keywords, and they look at those results to see which of these things is the closest to what I'm looking for. If you know exactly what you want, if you're looking for a specific restaurant, you search for it by name, that organic listing is going to come up. The advantage to Google My Business and broader SEO, search engine optimization, is finding those searches that could be specific to your business, that could be the kind of services that you offer, but that are also similar to other companies and other websites. That's what Google is constantly trying to figure out. When somebody searches for construction company, do they want to find company A or company B? With better search engine optimization, by giving Google more of the content that it wants and the layout that it wants and the format that it wants, the more likely a page is to show up in these organic search results. One big component to that is the Google My Business page. Google My Business page, and we'll show you an example, is the official listing of your business as registered with Google that also doubles as a social media platform. In addition to be able to listing your hours, your address, your phone number, give reviews is I think the main way that people think about Google My Business. There's also an extensive and important social media feed feature, which is relatively new, maybe the last year and a half or so, where you can share the kind of content similar to what you do, probably closest to Facebook, where you can include images, blog posts, articles about your company. It's less about fun, quirky things, and it's more about, this is really what my business is. It's really great for photos, case studies. This is the kind of work that we do. You can also set up direct links to buy products if you sell a specific product. But the best thing about it is that it shows up inherently very highly on the page when you go to Google.com or use another Google search bar. It's going to be one of the first things that pops up. So the better optimized the Google My Business page is for your business, the more likely it is to show up when people are searching for those terms where they could find you or they could find your competitor. Someone is looking for your name, you're more likely to come up. But it's finding those people who are looking for something in your industry, but they don't know exactly who they're looking for yet, that they find you. And also, when they do search for you by name, that the results look really good, have lots of easy to navigate links, have ways to contact you, have ways to get the information that they need before they can make their decision about who to hire or who to bring on for a certain job.
Yeah, and really in the days of old, Google My Business or Google listings were really for like phone numbers and location, just where you are. And I know some of you might be sitting there like, Jacqueline, Jonathan, I don't want people calling me or knocking on my door.
Right.
I'm not that type of a business. But still, like Jonathan mentioned, it kind of goes all together with your overall SEO, your overall mark of professionalism on the internet. Just kind of looks better. It helps you take control of your presence online and on Google and what people see about you immediately when they Google you. So I'll walk you through just some good and bad Google My Business listings. So let me pull these up. So something I want to say is we don't want to call out anyone in specific, but usually franchises just kind of have like notoriously horrible Google My Business listings. So we're going to show you a bad one and a good one so you guys can compare side by side. I can make this smaller. What do I keep doing? Okay, I guess I'll do this. Okay. Let me go back to you guys and share this screen. Okay, so Petco, when I Google Petco, I just want to find a Petco, right? So I'm like, okay, here's all these millions of Petcos. Some of these aren't even really the right Petco. And over here, we're just getting a Wikipedia of Petco and just like random Petco info. So I'm like, okay, maybe I guess I'll go to this one of Victor. So I've already had to click on something once. And now here it is. And it's, as you can see, want to compare this to ours, our counterintuitive one, which we've spent some time on. There's no real photos here. The questions and answers are, there's no answers. So they're not spending any time on their Google My Business. Again, love Petco, but franchises just, they've got the name. They don't need to spend time on this. So they've got their hours, they've got their address, but that can be populated from other places on the internet. So who's to say this is even correct? And that is the problem with Google My Business, is sometimes people are like, on Google, it says you're open. And it's like, it's because it just populates from other places.
How often does that happen? I feel like that happens all the time.
I feel like everybody's had that problem.
And this is a way for you to make sure that the information is accurate. Again, you may not want people knocking on your door, but across all of, we had a client whose address was just wrong. and there was no way. It took a long time to get that fixed, and it was really a problem for them. Whether it was because people were mailing things to them, or it just annoyed them that when the search came up. And controlling your Google My Business is a way to turn all of these things into opportunities. So maybe Petco's name recognition means that they don't have to do everything that smaller companies have to do in order to be found, but it's still how many thousands of missed opportunities to give people a positive experience instead of this sort of vague, weird, we don't really care about you experience. And so, yeah, I know Jacqueline's going to talk about our page, which we're very proud of.
Yeah, so the photos that they have here are just kind of random, posted by other people.
Right.
So they're not like the greatest photos in
Kind
the
of
world.
blurry, kind of weird. Like,
Yeah.
why do we have this tree in front of our sign? Why isn't there? Why don't these look professional? Why don't these look like what I would expect to see from a real company who I'm going to pay money to and entrust the life of my cat?
Right. So, but if you go to ours, Counterintuitive, we spent some time on it. We made sure everything here is correct. We put some of with some really great photos. So when you come to visit us at Counterintuitive, you can see what our building looks like. I mean,
Right.
you really can't miss it if you're driving down Burbank Boulevard, but you can know, oh, there's that blue and orange building that I saw online.
And I've heard people say that multiple times. I looked for the sign because we wanted to give you the street side view.
Yeah, so and down here, we have our website. Everything's correct here. We actually took control of what we have here, which is our business description. So you can read a little bit about us here without, having to go too far into the internet, and our profiles. So we've got our Facebook and Twitter on there. And so when you go to see our photos, you can see our street view. So again, when you're coming to see us, you know exactly what it looks like because we have a lot of clients and potential clients who come and visit us. So we want to make sure they're getting to the right place.
Yeah, and this is an opportunity that, again, for manufacturing and industrial, this is an opportunity to showcase your work, showcase your scale. You can have photos of completed projects. You can have photos of your team. Maybe they wear company t-shirts, and it adds that human element that is important, but it also shows that you're real. There's a lot of just junk out there, and the more authentic and real you are, the more likely somebody is to engage, especially if they haven't had the pleasure of getting to know you yet.
Yeah, and also another reason that Google is really pushing this and making it so the business owners can take control of what's seen here is not only to give users a better experience, they're always trying to give users a better experience, but also to help with the search features. So something super popular right now, I'm sure some of you guys have them, are like the home things like Alexa and Siri and Google Home, all those different ones. When you ask a long form question, if you put in some of your keywords in here, you will be able to help these voice searches and giving people what they want. So if I were to ask Siri, where's a marketing agency near me in Burbank? As one of our keywords is marketing agency in Burbank. So we would be one of the first ones, if not the first one, to pop up for whoever was searching for that. So
yes.
And that helps the rest of our SEO too. So it's all great. You should get a Google My Business listing.
And it's
Just
free.
do the thing. Yes.
It's free.
And it's totally free. It's a free service from Google. So why would you not use it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So finally, Jonathan, we are going to talk about, before our Q&A, before we wrap up, final social media platform we will be talking about is Instagram, which we have dubbed your personal, interactive, reality show.
Yes, and we went back and forth on this a lot about how to talk about it. The main reason why we gave these additional titles is to reinforce that the content that you share on each of these platforms should not be identical. Where your lead generator isn't the same as your beacon, isn't the same as your reality show. And we went back and forth with reality show, but it really is exactly that. It takes the up to the minute, up close and personal, slightly manicured and controlled view of what your business is doing day to day. This is the opportunity to share your personality. This is your opportunity to really share the visuals of what you're doing. And with manufacturing, shipping, the scale, the making, the machinery, the trucks, all of that stuff that goes into your industry, it's all actually kind of thrilling and kind of exciting for people. Some of that is going to be thrilling to people who aren't your ideal client, and that's true. But what it also is doing is it's showcasing your personality, who you are, what you're about, that you exist in the world. You don't have your head in the sand. It's 2020, and you're proud to be a part of it. It's an opportunity to share case studies and finished projects. It's an opportunity to share works in progress, to showcase any cool machinery or techniques that you specialize in, anything high profile or special that you want to give a lot of content to, time-lapse videos, interviews with different technicians about projects that they do. It's really that unfiltered, but of course filtered and controlled view into your company and what you do. And also remember that reality shows take many different forms. Not everything is keeping up with the Kardashians. There's How It's Made and the things on Discovery Channel and History Channel that take you into complex businesses or complex worlds or aspects of history and break it down in an engaging, exciting, accessible way. You don't have to be flippant with your Instagram page. It just wants to be real. It wants to feel authentic. And obviously it's photo and video driven. There's the link. You won't be able to have links in your individual posts. You can do things by linking from your bio, but it's really about showing people with imagery and video, this is who we are, this is what we're about, this is what we're excited about, this is what's good, this is what we're looking forward to. These are things that you've expressed interest in that we're going to talk about more, and really and controlling that content so that it showcases you and your work in a really great way.
Yeah, and something that social media has done, but really Instagram is taking it to the next level, is people want to get to know the brands that they're interacting with, like really in an intimate way.
Right.
So kind of like you said in one of the blogs that we're about to post, is blurring the line between brand and bestie.
Right.
So you're getting to know these brands, you're getting to know how they work, the people who work there, the things that they do, what it looks like inside there, and stuff like that. So like Jonathan said, it's really kind of like a glimpse into your reality show, if your business was a reality show. So a couple of tips and tricks for Instagram that we want to go over. I want to make sure that you guys spend some time and look at your own explore feed. So if you go on your Instagram and in the bottom, there's 4 different icons. The second one is a magnifying glass. So the explore feed shows you things that Instagram thinks you'll be interested in. And one of the ways that it gets content to give to you here is by things that you Google. So I know people get really freaked out. Remember a few years ago when you would look at a jacket online and start following you around, and people realized what it was. It was remarketing, and then they stopped being so scared. So kind of like this is the new wave of that, is like your phone is, and your social media is giving you what you want by things that you Google and things that your activity on your phone. And it's just, don't be so scared of it. It's trying to do the best for you. Right, so, right. For example, I'm pregnant and I've been doing a lot of Googling because I'm a first-time mom, and things, products I should be getting, or things I should be feeling, or if this is normal or not. And I'm starting to get like so many pregnancy related things on my explore feed, and I don't look at like pregnancy things on Instagram, but Instagram knows, hey, you've been looking at this a lot on the internet. You'll probably be interested in following these different brands or these different things. So that's all to say that if there is someone in your target market who is doing a lot of Googling about a business like you to hire you, and you have a really awesome Instagram page, it will show up for them, and they will be able to see and be like, oh, wow, look at this. This brand does really cool stuff online. They must be really cool to work with. Look, I can see their company at work. I can see their service in action. I can see their product. I can see how they make their product. I could see everything. And they'll have like a really good insight in about you before they even reach out to you or meet you. And it could be for someone who has an importance in social media, who uses social media a lot, that could be the difference maker. So another thing too is touching on the reality show topic, is your Instagram stories. So your feed is kind of like an extension of your portfolio on your website. Like, people tend to go on social media now to see what the latest products look like, the latest things look like, rather than a website. Like, who updates their website that regularly with that many new products, right? We take to social media to do all that stuff. So your feed is kind of an extension of that, but the stories are what only last for 24 hours, and you can really have a lot of fun in those. You can have do a selfie video when you're, out on a job or doing something. You can really get down and dirty, and those actually get really good engagement. So a lot of times actually people watch the stories more so scrolling through their actual feed these days. So if you make a post on your Instagram page, repost it to your stories so that people see it. You can have a lot of fun on stories, and people have been taking to that. Everyone kind of questioned whether or not it would take off, but it's huge now. So if you feel like you could show off some really interesting things on stories and really get real, do it there rather than on your feed. I feel like your feed should be more of showcasing yourself a little bit more, like Jonathan said, well crafted, whereas your stories can be, a little bit more silly and a little bit more personal. So,
yeah. Well, I was just thinking of things like celebrations, like
yeah.
whether it's a groundbreaking or the beginning of a project, or whenever you have a whole team together, and that might be a little less scripted and a little more, we've all been working hard on this for months or years, and now we get to actually showcase and celebrate it in a way. We have some clients who've done fun lip sync videos. There's a lot of different things that you can do to again show the people behind these projects, show simultaneously that you're really good at what you do, you have a very great specialty, but that you're also real people and you also have personalities, and it should reflect that personality. Not everybody's going to do a lip sync video, and not everybody should. But finding those things that you can do it all day long, but finding those things that are interesting to you, exciting to you, that's also going to be interesting and exciting to your ideal client.
Yeah. So that's Instagram. So I guess now we will take it to Faith, who will let us know if we've had any questions.
Nope.
All right. I do want to say, though, I know there's going to be a lot of questions maybe later about specific how-tos. How was that automated response thing again? Right. So I just want to say Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn all have really, really wealthy help sections where if you just type in a question, they give you a real easy step-by-step. So if you want to learn how to specifically do any of this later, don't be afraid to hop on. Their help sections are really, really awesome.
Great. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. If you have any specific questions, you can definitely reach out to us. You can reach out to us via Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or any of these other ways. Feel free to call us or drop us a line. We're more than happy to get to know more about your business, about your goals, what you're trying to achieve, and how we can help. And we're for joining us today, we're more than happy to offer a free half-hour consultation, just to talk. We'll ask a lot of questions, and see what there is to do. It could be related to social media, SEO, or any of the other marketing topics that we've looked at in this webinar and other webinars. But we know that it all starts with a problem. We want to know what your problem is, and we'd like to help if we can. So yeah, drop us a line, visit us online, visit us on social.
Follow us on social.
Follow us on social.
And we'll follow you back.
Absolutely. And hey, maybe we'll even feature you as a business spotlight on one of our pages. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining, and keep an eye on your inbox for our next webinar, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Hooray.
Yay.
Happy Tuesday.
Thank you.
Bye.